How you guys? So today, I'm really happy because things are finally starting to pick up, and I kept asking God, like, God, is this where I'm supposed to do? Is this where I'm supposed to go? Um, and today gave me a lot of revelation about that, which I am extremely happy about because I honestly felt like I was losing doing the right thing. oh, oh my goodness, my dog. She's gonna be mad. Look at her. She's gonna be mad when she go to the groomer because all of that is getting just chipped off. She doesn't like having her face groomed, so she has her ponytail. She usually has her little high ponytail, but I'm getting to the point where a lot of things have happening. Her groomer, which she has a specialized groomer because she has anxiety, and yeah, we try to do it the natural way and help her with that. But because of that, she doesn't like a lot of people coming around her. You have to really get to know her. So because of that, it's really hard to get her groomed because people will think just because she's a little dog, like she just doesn't. She has her own personality. She's finicky. I understand that because I'm like that myself. I'm just not gonna. I'll walk and be friendly to people and stuff like that, but as far as getting on an intimate level and touching, I don't know. That takes time. Um, so, yeah. So, yeah, she's gonna have that all. But anyhow, I don't even want to speak it up, but a lot of good things, a lot of things have turned out for my good, and I'm grateful that it happened now. And I went through, a lot of the tough things before. Now, I will say this: I was very nervous about the whole me going through this whole process because I was going out on faith. I had no direction or anything as far as starting this non-for-profit Patricia Sanctuary. I had no for one, I didn't have any experience. I didn't have any idea. I didn't even know what I was going to actually go through. I only saw a glimpse, and the glimpse looked dim. But I remember, like what it said in the Bible, about if God tells you something, just know that it's going to come to pass. And it's a privilege to let God use you. That's the whole point and this whole purpose of this whole journey and living on this thing, this planet we call Earth. So, being used in this physical body, this three-dimensional formation is really a good thing. So I went on a limb, and as I was going through this process, I thought that I needed some kind of means to support myself, and I needed to have the experience. So I tried to force myself sometimes to get some of the experience or use what I previously knew from previously before to transition. But God made it to a way where I didn't have to. He didn't want me to do that. He wanted me to learn new things and to stay humble and to learn while I was underneath. Like he supplied my food, my shelter, my clothing, everything. There were times that I was homeless again, but he provided to the point where most people didn't even know that I was homeless. And not only that, I had better things than other people who did not, so that's what I want people to understand. Follow it, even if it does not look like what it's saying. It might look like you're on the bottom, but eventually it's going to come up, if you're following God, because you're dealing with the spiritual realm and who's over in control of everything. So, and he will warn people and warn his children of what's going on. So listen to that. Because I thought that I was supposed to do this big parade and be this public speaker and go even harder, which God did show me that I was going to do that. But how the process that he went looked different, way different. I have a whole different perspective as far as dealing with the homeless and dealing with people with mental illness and all of that. I have many perspectives, and it was something that I'm grateful for because I never would have experienced that had I not went through these experiences and these tests and these trials and seeing things firsthand. And not only that, it's a great thing because the things that you're getting, most people would die to get or pay large sums of money to get the qualifications and the experience that you had. I was around someone who started their not-for-profit from scratch, and I had firsthand experience. Not only that, I worked with her hand in hand and was underneath. I mean, I started from the bottom, y'all. I was cleaning toilets. I don't even care. Cleaning toilets, showers, all that, and I take pride in it. Everything that I try to do, I try to take as much pride and be honored to do it, because God has given me another opportunity to live and to breathe and to do it. So, and doing that, and I ended up rising up the ranks, even when people were despising me, coming against me with cruel, horrible intentions. Some people said really bad things about me. Some was like, "Oh, she's a prostitute." Some people, "Oh, she's just trying to steal and get over." It wasn't even none of that, But I listened to God, and sometimes I got upset and fell short and tried to clap back, but no, still be good. Still listen to Him. He will provide. Okay, so. Just to see the manifestation of things that are happening and things that are coming to pass, like it was just like, God, thank you. Like, I'm grateful anyway, because I know you are God and you are in control. So no matter what I think that I deserve or what I feel that I deserve, I'm submitted to you. So I don't care about that. What matters is what your will is for me, and for me to do it and to complete it. I am the vessel. So but God, He knows the desires of your heart, man. He'll do it. So just seeing some of those things and God giving me back what I lost, some of the things that I couldn't get back in those years of unemployment and being homeless because of that, back to back. A lot of people are facing that now, but I'm, God is making it a way where, some of those things are being restored. So I just wanted to talk about that. I was just really grateful for that. And if anyone is listening and you going through your time, because everyone has their troubled times. No one is perfect. I'm so tired. This is why I don't listen to TV a lot. I don't listen to a lot of people's, I listen to other people, some people on YouTube, some people on Brittonton, on different platforms. But I don't listen to mainstream stuff because they give you the superficial feel as this happened and all of a sudden you just turned it up and it went. No, you have a lot of ups and downs, turnabouts. You go up and you go right back flat down, so and go up and go around in circles. Sometimes we go around in circles. No one talks about that, the times that I failed so many times, which was nothing but lessons. But yeah, so that's my view on it. And I want to give that honest testimony, because there's going to be someone who's looking out here and thinking like, man, should I take this leap of faith? God told me this, but it don't look like that. And I'm struggling. I'm at my last dime. I'm telling you, I've been there and I'm still in certain aspects. I'm still there. If God told you to do it, leap. I don't give a care what it looks like. No matter what it looks like, go. Okay. Anywho, let me go call my mom. Hopefully they'll let me talk to her. Let me stop smacking. No. Oh yeah, you guys, I gotta upload the video of what I saw this morning, because people swear up and down they be walking up and down the streets helping stuff, and they don't.
Carefully to the following options. Wait while I transfer your call.
Let me plug this.
Richmond State Hospital, may I help you?
Hi, I'm calling for 420 Unit A.
One moment.
Thank you. When all else fails.
28.
Hi, who do I have the pleasure of speaking to today?
This is Brandy.
Hi, Brandy. This is Belle Dean. I'm calling for Patricia Dean. The unit code is 420 Unit A.
Hey, I will let her know and have her call you back.
Okay. Do you know if she's near?
They just came in from the courtyard, so I'm not.
Oh, that's
sure.
good. Hopefully she went outside. Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
sometimes she gives me the blues too. So, but at least it was on a happy note. So hopefully she calls and contacts back. They have that program. Sometimes people let them do it, which is redundant to me because if you can call in and then they say, "Oh, but let me see," it's just weird. Yeah, it's weird. But I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna force it. I'm not gonna do any of that. What I am gonna do is keep moving and keep the faith, okay? Because today was living testament of God's promises. Like, man, we got hawks flying over our city, and they look so cute. If I can show y'all this skyline, like my window shows the city, so it looks kind of neat. I like the little what I can see. I like my view, even though I was trying to get a view in the back where I can see the park and a new park and everything, but that's going to be built up in a couple of months with another building, so they're not going to see anything. But where I'm going to see is always there, so I'm sure this unit very swiftly is going to raise up in prices, which it is already kind of up there. But yeah. What else did I finished my stuff with my RBT license, my certification with that. And I thought about setting up a platform for people who are because they already have a platform, a national platform for that, but I wanted to set up where people could take assignments because RBTs are very much needed around this time. And if you don't know what RBTs, they are registered behavior technicians, or they could be recreation behavior therapists, technicians, but they most of it is almost the same. You have to do different certifications to be a recreation specialist, which is a little bit shorter than RBT's registered behavior because you're recording behaviors. You're recording behaviors. A lot of people who deal with RBTs, they're dealing with people who have behaviors. Most of the time, people with individuals with autism. Does not necessarily mean that you are going to be working with people who have autism. I know that for my first job and my first experience with being a behavior technician, I was dealing with people who had autism, and it was children as well as adults. And then I went to other mental illnesses, such as bipolar, schizophrenia, stuff like that, child development, adulthood development. It was just, yeah. So you can have different arrays. And not only, who they pulling over, y'all? These police are out. I don't know what's going on, but they out. They out here trying to get people, man. Anywho, if you guys hear all this noise, I do live downtown. It's not like a huge city like New York, but you definitely hear a lot because this is a city that they try to build on, are building up as the next big city, which Fort Wayne is really good. They have a lot of institutions like banks, and most of their things are industrial. So, which is a great place to, I would say a great place to, yes, it's a great place to live if you have children. If you are retired, oh my goodness, they have so many things for people to do that. But people like me, if you're single, you don't have any children, sometimes that's going to be difficult, and a lot of people who are pushing, with finances and things, either they have an established family that either it's already flocked the nest and they're trying to move and do their independent thing, or they're young like me. And yeah, so you definitely got to find some stuff for us. What else? Yeah, so those are one of the things. I also got another one of my certifications finished where I can move around and go to my other projects. I will say this, um, if you get an opportunity to work for yourself, do it. This is the time. This is the time because I'm quite certain there's going to be a time where it's going to get really really strict and strenuous, and nothing lasts forever. You know, things could turn out really really good afterwards, and then things could not turn out. You know, we had really a really crazy what, 18 months? I want to say 18 months. Well, March to March, May, April. So no, 13 months. Even though some of this was going a little bit before, because I know in my field, they started prepping us about this issue. I want to say 6 months before. It was like November. They were telling us, you know, oh, COVID is coming. Like they're like, COVID is coming. They actually projected it as something that was going to be 12 times as worse as what we're seeing now. So just having that information kind of like, oh, it stunned me. But to see what's going on now, it's like, okay, you have an opportunity. It wasn't like boom, 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 boom. It actually went through, and they did say it was going to go through phases, but it's actually, I want to say that compared to what they shown us and what was going on in that November of what, 19, things have tremendously like became better than was expected. So I know that it's more to come, because if you look, like when I went to overseas, when I went to the UK, they're facing something, and it seems like, I don't know why, you guys, it seems like they're always facing something way worse than what we face. Or they facing something not way worse, but I want to say like what they face it first and then we face it like that. Like, I don't understand that, and it kind of freaks me out, but nevertheless, got to keep pushing. So back to my whole thing, if you have an opportunity to go and to work for yourself, or any ideas that you have, now is the time. And you don't know who you might be helping by starting that business. Now, you might be starting that business because you want to be financially secure, or you want to live out your dreams to see if it can work. You know, you're not even thinking about that. You might be thinking about, let me just see if it works. Some people are like, look, I'm gonna make this ride or die. I'm just tired of this other job. I can't do it. I can't live beyond other people telling me what to do. That's me. But you might be second guessing, but you don't know who you might need to bless with that job that you're creating. You might be creating a job that's going to give you longevity, but it's going to help other people in the long run, for them to find some stability, and for them to look at you and to say, look, she came from this and she followed her dreams, and this is what happened. You know, you don't know who you're coming in contact with, who you might be a blessing to. So I'm going to say this. If you're feeling like you need to start a job, or you need to be an entrepreneur and just do things for yourself, now is the time. I thought about that. I got a little afraid because, you know, I've been homeless a couple of times, went through some rough patches. You know, I've been an entrepreneur before, years. Like, I knew that when I was younger, I was going to have some kind of side business. I was going to have my own business, even if I worked full time somewhere else. I always wanted to have that, because when I want to retire, which I planned on retiring very, I don't want to say very early, because a lot of people have been retiring like when they're like 30, 35. So I'm past that. So that's not going to happen. But I planned on not working until I'm like 65, 70. That's just, yeah, I don't plan on that. So, and I pray to God that God allows me to get to that point where I can retire early and enjoy the fruits of my labor, or to work. You know, because I don't really think about retiring. I just think that you work more to your focus, to your cause, to your purpose. So yeah. So yeah, but if you feel like, you know, you're at a dead end, now is the time. Jump, leap, leap. So yeah. Also, get rid of those distractions. Get rid of those people, those negative things. I don't give a care how much it looks like it's going to pay out. Get rid of them. Just get rid of them. Yeah, get rid of them. What else? Because I believe there's going to be a lot of shifts. There's going to be a lot of shifts. And if you work hard at this time where people are taking things, even though a lot of people are stepping in and supporting, if you don't take the time to go and invest in yourself and work on yourself, when things get tough, you're going to be left behind. And I just, for me, I just can't do that anymore. I felt that already. And I don't feel like it was no part of my own, but I understand that it was part of my own because I didn't go harder in certain times. Like I stated before, nothing lasts forever. Everything is temporary. So you have to get yourself ready. I also wanted to talk about being financially stable. And a lot of people think that becoming financially stable always has to do with money. Yes, it does, because money gets you certain things. But what if you didn't have the income to become financially stable? What do you need to do? And I'll tell you, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not making any books or anything like that. I'm telling you this from personal experience. The first thing you need, for me, I needed spiritual food. So I always kept my Bible near. Not only keeping my Bible near, but I keep it in my head. I'll read the scriptures. I have a personal relationship and I talk to God, because going through this, some of the things are going to look like they're very fruitful and they're not, especially during this time. Like, some of these things look like blessings and they are not. And some things look like curses and they look really rough and they're blessings in disguise. Me being home was a blessing in disguise, y'all. So that's one thing. The next thing that you need is food and water. You literally you can go, they say you could go 21 days without food. I've went longer without food. I literally went on a 40-day fast, and it was in no intention of my own. It was just a lot of things that I had to deal with and a lot of craziness. I'm not even going to get into that, but I went 43 days, and it was almost like I did not, like, somehow your body is able to regulate. Your body is magnificent. It does wondrous things. Like, you'll be surprised. People think you need certain things, and that's not always true. Now, but you do eventually need food. Okay. Remember, there was a guy who, and if you don't believe me, look it up. There was a guy who literally said he did not eat food, and he only, he didn't even drink water, but he was getting water from everything out and breathing and all that. But he was very skinny. But anyhow, plateau. Okay. So you need food. So you need to start, if you don't have, especially people who are in the States, very fortunate, because we have a system where if you don't have funding, you can apply for government assistance and they will give it to you, right? So you don't have that. Then the next thing you need to do is invest. You need to invest. If you have that, okay, I have, government assistance. One of the things that I learned is that you can make goods and services that can help you get the income that you need to survive. Cookies. People, you be sleep, but a lot of people love cookies. Okay, you can make cookies really good. You can do it. My thing was not cookies. I did muffins for a minute, and my things were like cosmetics and stuff. But a lot of those things that you have in there, they were natural. They came from, you can eat it. So that's what I would say. Use those resources that you have to make your life better. And it's not illegal to make cookies from a EBT card or a food stamp card and sell the cookies, because you've made a good, a services you're paying. So yeah, you might have to report that, it depending on what kind of income, how much you made. I know a woman who became a millionaire selling cookies and muffins when she had nothing. Her husband deserted her. She had to get on public assistance, and that's what saved her. He wouldn't let her get a job. She had degrees, wouldn't let her get a job. She didn't work for like 15 years, had her kids being a home, a mother who stayed at home. And yeah, that transformed her. Now the guy tried to come back and she didn't even have. But yes. So that's one thing. Another thing that I personally did was, okay, so I know that this is not temporary. Everything is temporary, and this is not going to last for long. Buy goods that you know that you love to have that have a longer shelf life, and buy those up. Eventually, when you do get the good job or the better job, when your benefits are gone, invest in things that you know that that you love and that you like, no matter what. And that's what I did. I just I just kept going. Canned goods that I really like. I love corn. People say you shouldn't eat corn from Indiana, so that should let you know already. But anyhow, I like Mexican corn too, y'all. Like, I'm Haitian, but I love Mexican corn. And we eat that a lot in Indiana, especially Northwest Indiana. Mexican corn, baby. So anyhow, so those were the things that I did. Beans. I don't eat a lot of beans, but I know that like during the winter, I'll have like Great Northern beans or black beans. Black beans I go like through so crazy, or refried beans. Boom, 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 boom. Find those little discounts. And then also when I did go through some of those things and some of those hardships, I also found out that there were other resources where you can get more funding for food and things like that. So not only was I able to provide, and I use those resources as well. I was able to provide and get the food and the things that I needed for survival, to get myself better and to get aligned and all that. I was able to store food for later, which we all know eventually, life has different circumstances. So I did that. And people don't understand the power of doing that, because most people the average American spends over 40%. It's about like 41 to 42% on food alone. That means going out, eating food, fast food, dining out, dining in. 42 up to 42%. So it's over 40% of your income. So if you can cut that down, when you do get your income, you'll be able to better use it. You can be able to use that income for other things that you need, such as toiletries, cleaning yourself, cleaning household supplies, things like that. Another thing that I got is that when I was going through what I was going through, they gave you like assistance. And I know where I'm at, in certain other places in other townships, they give you that too. They gave me like a toiletry expense, so I didn't have to worry about that. And I was so grateful for that, because I was able to literally go into a store and pick, and I had like an allowance to pick what I needed, and it was like a certain amount of money. So now, what I was used to, it was way different, but I was able to get things. I was happy about it because I wasn't wasting things, because a lot of the things that they had, like as far as not household and cleaning supplies, but the things that you do with your whole body, I literally cannot use, because my body is extremely sensitive all of a sudden. I used to be able to just jump in and wear and to smell different scents and things like that, but I can't do that. Like one thing that they had, and it was really good, Dove soap. Dove soap does not work really well with me. A lot of people have, they love that, but for me, my skin, it dries it out. Now some of the body washes, some of those I can do, but even with that, I have to use very small limits on it, because it is so strong, it will dry me out. So because I had that allowance, I was able to do that and get the things that I needed, and I wasn't irritated. So after a while, if you get that month after month after month, because this didn't stop, until, I got a job. And the job that I got was even lower. It was, this thing was barely a little bit over minimum wage. I'm telling y'all, it was $7.85. I am not ashamed to say that. So for me, starting off making, when you first get into the workforce, you start off making $7-9 at Walmart, because I worked in like high school and stuff like that, and college and all that. But then when you get out into your career and you get out of college and you're making $12 $20, $40, $50. I was making, matter of fact, some of the flights I was making, like when I was doing corporate, I was making $80 an hour because, you know, you're dealing with high-end clientele, and now you're making $7.85 an hour. You know, it really hits you. But you have to really, and it will take a shock. Some people, that's why they were surprised that I was even making it, because some people kill themselves over that, you know. But I've lived in poverty. I've lived during the struggle. You know, I came from the struggle bus, and I know how to work what it means to work with your hands and to do what needs to be done to get out, you know. I have one of those crazy families like, no, you're gonna work if you want to do this, you know. So anywho, after a while, I used things in limited amounts. I was very, very, you have to be on top of things. You can't be wasteful. You might like, oh yeah, I got this for free. And it's really not for free because someone else has paid for it. You just couldn't pay for it. So you need to use discernment. You have to be a good steward over what you have. This is basically what it is. So you having that month after month after month, if you're saving it and you're only using a dollop here and a dollop there, when you need it, then when it goes to that third month, you've already got 2 other supplies and you're still on your first bottle of certain things. So that worked for me. And I saved that up for like 6 months. So when it does, like say for instance, I ever go through some kind of situation like that again, I will be able to be okay with it. You know, you have to understand that you're not, this isn't, checkers. This isn't checkers. You're playing chess. So it's all about strategies, because we know that, you know, we're thinking about the long run of our lives, you know. So that's what made me start thinking about things, you know, and being homeless before and coming from homeless and then getting a high-end job where all the benefits just cut off. And I was literally stuck. Like I went so high as far as my pay rate that all these creditors and these things were attacking me when I just got back on my feet, that to the point where it was almost like a crash thing, especially when I was running from, you know, but anywho, so you have to be very strategic. The next thing, so save, store, you know, it might not be money, but how are you saving your goods? How are you using your toiletries, your towels, your things like that? How are you using those things? Are you making something else to help other people? Yeah. So the next thing I will say about that you need, because I said you needed a prayer life, you needed water, food, shelter. So I see people think like just because you need a shelter, meaning you need an apartment or a home. That's not necessarily true. Shelter is shelter. Okay. There were some times I had to live in my car, and I made a clear distinction of making the choice of living in my car one time, because the only apartment that I could get was one that was in the area that was rodent infested. It should have been shut down. They never followed through, you know, on things. I would call Metro. I would call like the inspectors, and they would say, okay, well, you still have to pay rent, but they have to fix the hole in the wall and, you know, do an exterminator or, you know, get the bed bugs. And then they would literally go and do that. But then they would charge you underneath the table. Like this is your fault because it was in your apartment, instead of, you know, knowing doggone well their whole building has been like that, you know? So, and they was just slumlords. It was horrible. So I literally sometimes you have to make that decision. You know, it's not for everybody, but for me, I was like, look, I already been through the fire. I've been through the wire. You know, I was born for this. I was made for this kind of jungle warfare. I'm down with it. Like, so, shelter, boom. And let people talk. Let the people say. They ain't going to be talking too long when they see that, you know, your strategies really work, you know, because you're playing chess, not checkers. And invest in yourself. You know, I took that money that I was using for my rent money, especially when they was doing all that crazy stuff, was to invest in myself with my certifications, with my RBTs, with my loan signing, all of them. Like I certified up. I worked on myself. I exercised. I paid a membership at the Y, and they have this thing where it's like a sliding scale. So I ended up not paying the full amount for a good minute, because, I didn't have that huge funding of income, which helped me because, okay, if you're, you got shelter, you got food, you got water, but you got a temporary kind of shelter. How do you go and bathe yourself? Go to the Y. Go to the Y. The Y is open every single day. And while you at the Y, you showering, you exercising, you getting your stuff in. So it's just bare minimalism. So, yeah, I'm going to, I hope that helps you guys. But those are some of the things that I learned. Use everything wisely. Oh, another thing that I did was I had time. I had a lot of time on my hands because I'm not making that much money. I was working a full-time job, but I also networked. I networked and I went into the arenas that were doing the things that I wanted to do and what God called me to do. Helping the homeless. I was volunteering, doing voiceovers. I would go to the library and do audiobooks and voiceover. So you guys are seeing me when I talk about the checks and the things that I had with voiceovers when I was already doing it professionally. And I wasn't getting any callbacks. I was still using my voice so that people could hear and could know, I'm still out there. I'm still doing things. Help people write their shows, in the background. Be the background person. Look, learn everything. So yeah, hopefully that gave you guys some insight and knowledge on how to overcome certain situations. It's really how you look at it. So yeah, hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned. The Journey to Jerusalem. Bye.